All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining our live stream today. So we've got a lot to talk about. We've got a list here I want to talk about on what's going on here at the farm. It's been such a busy week. I haven't had really time to even make a video. So I put out a thing. It looked like you guys really wanted a live stream. So here we are. So let's talk about some stuff. I'll give you a quick rundown of what has been going on here at the farm. So as you guys know, in the spring, we built a barn, and that's really been priority number one all summer long. We've had spray foam insulation put into it, so now the building is fully insulated. That was back in May, late May. Now we're running power. We've got power out to the barn. So that's a real big thing that's going on right now. We finally officially have power out to the barn. As far as the plants go, we started our four July 1st here in Virginia. So that's exciting. Those plants are doing really well. I get a lot of questions about that now. I get a lot of Virginia growers here on the channel. So welcome to the channel. We've been going on since 2019, but it's really awesome to see so many new Virginia growers joining the channel, joining our community. So I do appreciate them coming on. I get a ton of questions from Virginia growers. And so I'll answer some of those questions today, guys. And if you're not in Virginia and you're growing, you can leave a question in the chat. You can just go ahead. I'll answer it for you as best I can. So those are the really big updates. We have our four plants now. Barn is making huge progress. I know the barn videos don't get a ton of views, but it's really important to our farm that we do this. So I will continually put out videos here and there about what the barn is up to and where we are in progress, because that is going to be a huge focal point come harvest season. We're going to talk a little bit about harvest season here if we can. One of the big things that we, or at least I have started doing, is we started working with a local nursery in Richmond, Virginia, putting on a class. So I know I get a lot of questions. Can we meet at the farm? Can I come to the farm? We're not really comfortable with visitors at this time, just given the world today and so many other variables. But we are trying to set up a schedule to teach a class on a consistent basis in Richmond, Virginia. So if you guys are in Virginia, you want to meet and greet, it's something that we'll start putting out once we have a solid schedule. We already did our first class about 2 weeks ago. So if you guys are interested in going to that class, learning, meeting, doing garden stuff, just let me know. Leave comments on the videos. Email me. I'll be glad to put you guys in touch with what we're doing as far as a class goes. So that's a really big thing. I get a lot of questions about coming onto the farm, and it's just not something we're doing at this moment. And I don't see it happening in the foreseeable future. And I get so many questions. I've gotten a lot in the last month since really Virginia allowed growing. And it's just not going to work out right now. Maybe in the future something can change, but right now, not what I want to be doing as far as meet and greets. Let me get the lighting here. All right. So as far as the plants, now obviously we're a farm, our crop, and really honestly, guys, this is the least amount of videos we've done about the crop this year. We've been really focusing on taking care of the plants, what we're doing to make it easier on ourselves, new things that we're doing. But the plants themselves are doing fantastic. I really do want to put a video out there on how they're doing. All the plants are doing great. The weather has greatly improved for growing here in Virginia. We had a really rough start in May, and we've really had a great month or two of just rain about once or twice a week, awesome sunshine, temperatures are perfect. The plants are just growing, and they're growing really, really well. We were a little bit behind where we were last year, but the plants are quickly catching up to the size they were at this point last year. So that's really good. It's really exciting to see. We're really at peak veg. So right now you're seeing active growth in these plants, and really peak veg is going to kind of taper off here in about the next 2 weeks. The plants will start hitting the brakes a little bit as we start losing more and more sun. But right now they are literally growing so much every day. So it's really cool to just see them going crazy. And we've had such great weather so far this year. We made it through a small tropical storm, and the trellis netting held up. So far, everything has been going well with the plants. So I'm eager to show you guys the grow in an upcoming video. It hasn't been a focal point this year, and I really need to show the plants. Obviously, we have our 4 plants, and they've been a focal point of a couple of videos. We've shown them. I'm really excited to have those 4 plants here on the farm. But the main goal is to show you the crop and how we've been taking care of them, what we've been learning for the last 2 years. So we will be showing the crop in the near future. All right, question. Jennifer, would love to see what your plants are looking like. Yeah, we will, Jennifer. Thanks for that. We will be showing them very soon in a video. I've got I think I have a video coming out tomorrow or Sunday. It's a review video. We've been upgrading equipment. That's another thing that we've been doing this year. We've been reinvesting a lot into the farm this year. It's been kind of a goal of mine. We've been kind of running on a shoestring budget for the last 2 years. So this year I've really been focusing on upgrading equipment where we can actually save a lot of time if we spend a little bit more money. So you're going to see some new equipment. This week's video will be a review video on our new backpack sprayer that we have. It's been amazing, such a time saver. So you will see the plants a little bit in that video, but I will make a solid video on how the plants are doing very soon. And so speaking of equipment, I really want to dive into something we did about almost 2 months ago now, which is be officially sponsored by Mars Hydro. That was a big decision for us here on the farm. We've had many, many offers over the years to be sponsored, to go into partnerships with companies, and we've really avoided them because you kind of get handcuffed, so to speak, on what you can and cannot do and what you can and cannot say. And so I really like having the freedom of being able to buy what I want, use what I want. Now, we've been given lights in the past and did a video or reviewed them, and that's not what I'm here to talk about today with what we have with Mars Hydro. Mars Hydro is our official sponsor here on the farm. So we will not have any other grow tents or any other grow lights on our farm. That was a big decision. I know you guys have seen recent videos where we've highlighted Mars Hydro or we've shown their grow tents. And it was a big decision. It was something I thought about for a very long time. We had several very nice offers from other companies. We went with Mars Hydro because before we signed a contract, they treated us really well here on the farm. They always asked if they could do anything for us. They were there to help out. And so when the time came, when the pressure was really mounting, when the channel really started growing, because we're only a couple thousand from 20,000 subs, and that's really awesome. And again, I appreciate everybody who subscribes to our channel. It makes a huge difference when you hit the thumbs up, when you subscribe to our channel. It really helps the farm out. And I really don't think folks understand how much it actually helps out our farm. It drives so much traffic to our farm, and we really need that traffic to grow the brand. So on a side note, I do appreciate all the subscribers and people who thumbs up the videos. I know it's simple and I know it's stupid, but it really means a lot to me. But going back to making that decision with Mars Hydro, from here on out for the foreseeable future, I can't really go into contract details. You will only see Mars Hydro. So I know that's kind of a deflator as far as trying out different grow lights and trying out different grow tents, but it really helps out the farm. And at some point, we had to make a decision on what we were going to use for our indoor grows. As we start building our barn, one of the plans is to have a grow room, and that's actually what we're building onto right now. We're working with Mars Hydro. We're building an actual grow room so that we can grow 24/7, 365, and we're going to have a grow room in the barn. So that was a really big factor into selecting them, as well as being able to grow with us. And they've been 100% on board with that. So I know some folks might be disappointed that we won't be using other grow lights from other companies, but that was a big decision for us. And I really do appreciate Mars Hydro for helping us out here on the farm, even before we signed a contract. So get that out of the way. That's been a big deal for something here on the farm. Now, as far as growing our 4 plants, I get so many questions now about, can we do anything with them? You know, what's the deal? Are we going to switch over to those plants, or are we going to stay with what we've been growing for the last 2 years? And the answer to that, the short answer is, we're going to stay doing what we've been doing. We're not going to switch over to those plants, and we can't. Right now, it's for home grow only. It's home use only, personal use only. So you can only grow them for yourself, and you can only gift up to an ounce. So you can only gift and give and do so much with it. So right now, we're just doing it for fun. We're doing strict genetic testing on those 4 plants. And that's another thing with the grow room, is that we can keep running different strains, going through life cycles, learning the behaviors of different strains, trying to pinpoint when it does become commercial here in Virginia, not just recreational, that we will be wholly set up to switch to that commercial like we are with our current CBD stuff. So that's part of this whole grand plan that I really haven't put in videos. I know a lot of people haven't been interested in what's going on with the barn, but that barn is such a focal point to what we're doing in the future. And as we build internally in that barn, you're going to really see a lot of progress on the channel, on our farm, and so on. So the grow room is going to be a huge, huge player when it comes to growing those plants. And then we're going to start our next grow. Actually, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be cloning our plants to carry over the genetics next year. So Biox, that's been around. It's our most popular. We'll be taking cuts of that very soon so that we can overwinter those mother plants and keep them in the grow room. And the grow room is going to have different areas. We're going to have holding mother plants. We're going to have a grow area. We're going to have seeding areas where we make seeds and do some experiments with that stuff. So we're going to be starting our next indoor grow very soon, probably within the next month and a half to 2 months. That's all going to start. And the cloning of those plants is probably going to start here in the next 2 weeks. If I was to take a guess, usually by the second week of August, I have all my clones cut to carry over the genetics for next year. And the second week of August is usually a safe time. For those of you that want to create mother plants and stuff, it's usually a safe time to take those cuts so that they don't have to re-veg. You're not going to cut them during flower. If you see any start of pre-flower, you definitely want to start cutting your clones. You do not want to cut them when they're flowering. So that's a tip of advice, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be starting our indoor growth. So that's why it's so important that this barn gets finished and that Mars Hydro is supplying a lot of that stuff to get it finished. Okay, let's see. I got a list of questions I have here. I get a lot. Another common question is, when can I put them outside? Now, we made a video, but I guess I didn't really think on the global aspect. I get a lot of questions of when can I start my plants outside. I really speak from a USA standpoint, but really, if you want to boil it down, I speak from a southeast of the United States standpoint. And, you know, as I told somebody from Australia, actually asked me a couple of weeks ago, when's a good time to start outside? I have no idea with Australia, but what I can say to folks is when you do want to start your plants outside, the best gauge that I have to tell anybody who's living across the globe is that as long as you have 14 hours of daylight, you can start your plants outside. You can, from seed, you can start it like 13 and a half hours. They won't flower when they're small. You can, but if you're going to put clones in the ground, it's got to be 14 hours of daylight. And that doesn't matter if you're in Alaska or if you're in South America or Australia. It's all the same. You got to have that 14 hours. Now, I know there's some equator stuff where it's only like a certain amount of light and there's not much change. I'm not going to get into the science of that. But for the most part, that's a general rule of thumb that I get a lot of questions of when they can start them outside. That's a good way to find out when you can. Just look at the sunrise, sunset tables and do the math. Steno McGee, new to the channel, just checking it out. Well, welcome to the channel. We've got a lot of new subscribers. I think since the last time I've done a live stream, we've gained close to 7,000 subscribers. So we have been really killing it on the subscriber count. And again, I really can't show my appreciation enough to those who subscribe to the channel. So welcome to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Help out the channel as much as you can. With all that knowledge, your indoor grow should be great. Well, I hope so. And one of the things I get a lot too, and that leads into a question is, you know, what's easier, indoor grow, outdoor grow? What should I start with? And my experience is mostly outdoor. So when I get indoors, a lot of things change, and I try to use a lot of my outdoor knowledge for indoor growing, but it always doesn't carry over. So I do have a lot of knowledge. I'm always learning. I'm not a wizard of plants, but I learn a lot when I do indoors. I spend a lot more time with those plants indoors, and I learn a lot more. Whereas outdoors, I kind of let the plants do the thing. I visit them on a daily basis. I'm down in the grow, but I'm not like on top of them. You know, I walk the rows. I check and see if anything's going on. If I see a plant that's maybe not doing well, I check it out, see what I can do to help it out, maybe pick some yellow leaves off of it. But overall, when you start seeing yellow leaves in an indoor grow, you're like on top of it and you're looking at every little thing because it can spread, I feel like, a lot faster indoors. And you're controlling everything, whereas Mother Nature really controls the outdoor grow. So sometimes there's nothing you can do. And that's just the way it is. But yeah, hopefully a lot of my knowledge does carry over for that new indoor grow room. I'm really excited about it. We're going to learn a lot this winter. Steno McGee, just subscribe. Well, thank you for subscribing. Again, appreciate it. That sub count has been just going up. My personal goal is to have 20,000 by harvest. I think we're at 18.5 right now. So 1,500 more by end of September, early October. I think it's doable. So don't forget to subscribe. Deb G, hi, great to be here. Much needed information. Thank you. Well, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being part of the channel. I think if you guys have questions, again, leave them in the chat because this is one of the few times that you're going to be able to ask me a question and I can answer it for you right here. The comment section has been getting busier and busier on the channel, and I just can't get to all the questions anymore. I used to be able to be right on top of it. But I just can't get to them all anymore. And some of them are repetitive, and I really hope that, you know, they scroll through the comments on that video and they can see the answer that I've given in the past. But if you guys have questions watching today, feel free, leave it in the chat. I will answer it to the best of my ability. But yeah, this is a good time because I just can't get to all the comments. It's unfortunate. That's one of the downsides to a growing channel is that the comment sections do get busier and you just can't interact. When we had, I think the sweet spot was really 10,000 subs that you could interact. You got a good amount of traffic to the channel. Ever since we really hit past 15,000 subscribers, it's been really hard to get to all the comments. And I really do try. I sit down at least once a week and go through the comments as best I can. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Deb. I appreciate you being on the channel, and I hope you learn a lot. I'm always learning, and I'm going to tell you up front, I don't think I've said this recently in a video, I'm not the end-all be-all when it comes to growing. Please, by all means, teach me something. I'm always listening. I see a lot of comments where people critique. That's absolutely fine. As long as you keep it nice, keep it clean. I have no problems with critiquing my grow or critiquing my videos. Absolutely not. But just keep it clean. You don't have to throw stones. Stino McGee, have you ever experienced light burn from using foliage sprays? How should a grower properly apply, in your opinion? I have never experienced light burn. Actually, I take that back. I've never experienced it on these plants. I have had it on my tomato plants in a garden. I know that isn't necessarily relevant, but I have experienced it. The way to avoid light burn on a foliage spray is you do it in the dark. So when I spray my plants, whether it's BT spray for the caterpillars and worms, or whether it's the kelp, when it gets super hot, I use Coast of Maine liquid kelp. Actually, the video that's coming out soon, we're featuring our new backpack sprayer. That's what I'm using. I'm spraying all the plants to cool them off. They really like kelp. They turn this like cool neon green by the morning. They absolutely love it. So to avoid light burn, you definitely want to do it in the evenings. I find that totally avoids any issue as far as now. Indoor grow, again, do it right after your lights shut off. Those plants have enough time to absorb, and then by the time those lights turn on, it should evaporate whatever's left, and there shouldn't be much of a burn. I do know that indoor plants can burn a little easier. Maybe you can, if you have like a Mars Hydro light, and again, this is why we picked them. They have a dimmer on their light. If you're worried about light burn, you can dim the light down just for the day and then kick it back up the next day. So those are options. I have experienced it, but I haven't experienced it on these plants recently. So I appreciate the question, though. All right. So Deb, can autoflower be planted outdoors? Can it be planted in July? Yes, Deb. Both yes, and yes. So Deb, if you're here in the United States, pretty much anywhere, at least in the lower 48, you can plant an autoflower in July, and it should be able to go full term. Now, if you're like in northern Maine, northern Michigan, northern, Montana, maybe not. But for the most part, the lower 48, if you plant an autoflower in July, you will be absolutely fine outdoors. It should go full term. You should have no frost issues, because most autoflowers are typically in 90 days is right around harvest time. So from seed to flower is 90 days. So in all honesty, yeah, if you count down, so if you started at July 1st, you got all of July, all of August, all of September. We don't get a frost here in Virginia until right around the end of October, early November. So, I mean, if you planted July 1st here in Virginia, you got plenty of time. August is where it starts getting a little iffy, especially in the northern states. In the southern states, you definitely could probably get away with it. But July, absolutely, you should be able to start and finish that grow with an autoflower outdoors. So I appreciate the question, Jeb. And where do you buy plants or seeds? Well, again, depending on your location, I'm going to speak for Virginia's current situation. That I'm here in Virginia. Okay, so Deb, if you're in Virginia, the the terrible answer you don't want to hear is you can't buy seeds and you can't buy plants. We're actually having a lot of problems with that. Because on the hemp side, yeah, listen to Stino. I can't say it. I'm not going to say it. But if you, Deb, for the best information, if you're in Virginia, go to the website that they have set up. But listen to Stino. Take his advice. You're not going to find them in the state of Virginia for sale, plants or seeds, not unless somebody's really towing that line. And we're just, me as a CBD permit holder, hemp permit holder, I'm not going to toe that line. I'm going to stick with my CBD stuff. I'm going to grow my 4 plants. I'm going to try to do it as best as possible. So yeah, listen to Stino, Deb, as far as advice on where to get stuff. And Google could be your best friend. If you could Google, you can find them. There are some reputable names out there. There's some not so reputable names out there. But yes. So to answer your question, Deb, no, but yes. And you'll have to navigate that. The state of Virginia has a special session coming up in August. There's a rumor, possibly, and again, I try not to. I veer very far away from politics on the channel, but there's a rumor that the governor has heard the complaints of you can't buy seeds, you can't buy plants. How am I supposed to have this? It would obviously create income for businesses, so there's a chance that it could be introduced in the special session. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I haven't heard anything concrete that is going to happen, but maybe, just maybe, a little common sense will go a long way, and they'll actually let places sell the seeds and the plants. But yeah, I appreciate the chat. I'm reading the chat, Stino and Deb. Great conversation, by the way. But yes, Google's your friend, and let it be what are they? Narnia's box there. Just dive right in, Pandora's box. You're going to open it up. You're going to find all kinds of things. Just be safe, and don't do anything that you're not comfortable with. So, so to talk more about the plants and how we're navigating that situation, which is why we're staying with the hemp for the foreseeable future. I mean, we're already kind of starting to make plans for 2022. We've got some changes on the horizon yet again. We've gone through this almost every year we've grown. We've gone through some sort of regulatory change. We're going through another one again. At least this one was told to us at the beginning of the year. In December of 2021, we're going to end the pilot program here in Virginia, and it's supposed to be just a brand new program. So it's supposed to just feed right into this new program. There's not supposed to be any major hiccup. They say that. Do I believe it? No. So we'll see. We'll see what the program brings next year. But that's kind of our main thing is we're just doing these 4 plants, and we're going to enjoy them. Currently, I think if you guys haven't watched the video, we're doing Maui, Wowie, Blue Dream, Skittles, and Durban Poison. So those are our 4 plants. They're all labeled. And again, if you guys are growing in Virginia, Deb, I definitely want to direct you to our video that we made specifically for Virginia growers. If you go back in June, you'll see a video about how to grow in Virginia. Watch that video. I put a lot of information in there. We also have the website link to the website for the state of Virginia that kind of makes all the rules and laws that you need to follow pretty black and white. So definitely check out that video. All right, Elizabeth, what characteristics do you look for in a mother plant? So there's a lot of things that go into a mother plant. Number one is its growth, right? You're not going to want to select a runt, so you watch it grow. That's the first way to determine it. The second is disease resistance, pest resistance, drought tolerance. There's a lot of factors that go into it, and you won't necessarily get all those characteristics in the first year you grow it. So you have to. We've gone through several different cherry wines to get to the cherry wine we have today. We actually selected. We did like 100 seeds our first year. We selected 3 out of those 100. And then from those 3, we narrowed it down to just 1. And that's the cherry wine that you guys see today that we grow out there. And that whole process was disease resistance, pest resistance, its growth, its flowers, everything goes into it. We did a very short video on how we selected those mother plants. But in a nutshell, there's a lot that goes into it. There's also strain favoritism. Some people just like the way that strain works for them, and so they keep it. It may not be the best plant they've ever had. It may not be the best flowers they've ever had. But if that strain works for you, then people keep a mother plant of that. So there's a lot of personal factors that go into selecting a mother plant. There's also a lot of physical features that go into selecting a mother plant. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. And right now we're just looking to see the strains. Right now we're not even thinking about mother plants with our 4 plants. We're thinking, okay, what strains grow the best here? I know Maui Wowie grows really well on the East Coast. I've talked to many growers on the East Coast. It's very powdery mildew resistant, very mold resistant. It does really, really well with the humidity that we have here. So I know that from other people's experience that plant should do well, which is why it's one of our 4. I want to see it for myself. I want to see how it does right here on our farm. But that's one of the ways we're selecting it. It's kind of using some former knowledge of other folks and applying it here, but we're not selecting any mother plants currently. But yeah, it's a long way to get to a mother plant. But again, if a strain works for you, definitely keep it. All right, Stino, do you run your own genetics? Yes, we do. We do run our own genetics. So for the last 2 winters, we have done our own breeding. So every winter we get a male, we take some clones from our mother plants, and we breed them and we cross them, and we've been experimenting. We have an entire row in our grow, which is why I need to do a total grow update video. I haven't done a grow update video yet this year, really. And those are all our genetics. So we'll go through, I'll show you right now, we're running 3 of our own genetics, things that I've created here on the farm. And we're looking to do a lot more when we get this grow room in the barn. That's going to be a big, big thing for me is doing my own genetics in my grow room. So yeah, we do run our own genetics, but we only run them for the CBD stuff right now. So it's coming, and it's coming for the other 4 plants this winter, but it's not right now. But we're running our own CBD genetics for sure. Okay, Deb. Yeah, Deb, definitely watch that Virginia video. It'll give you a lot of information. Stino, node spacing and vigorous growth for me on a hunt, finding that cultivator is the goal. Yeah, that goes for that mother plant question. Vigorous growth is key, particularly for the outdoor grows. Pest resistance is also a really big one for me, just because we have so many caterpillars here in Virginia. Tobacco worms, caterpillars. They really love hemp. They've also switched from tobacco to hemp, along with the rest of the industry. The caterpillars moved with us. Adventure time. I'm in Ohio. This is our first year. Shoestring budget. Only 3 of us. We planted 1638 Matterhorn CBG all went good, but couldn't afford plastic this year, and we had some serious flooding challenges. Well, that's awesome that you guys are growing out there in Ohio. First year shoestring budget. I have been there. I have bought that T-shirt. It's stressful. I feel for you guys. I wish you the best. You're going with the CBG. CBG, we played with it a little bit lower. We tried to play with it last year. We got kind of bogarted on our genetics, but regardless, we tried the CBG route. I didn't even mess with it this year. We went our own. We were doing our own genetics, and from here on out, you're going to start seeing more and more and more of my own genetics and less and less and less of imported genetics. We'll still import new things here and there because you can't just make everything with 10 strains. You know, you want to bring new stuff in, but the further along we get, the more and more of my own stuff you will see. But yeah, good luck with your grow, guys. I'm sorry about the flooding. We're really fortunate here on our farm. Our farm we're really close to the river. So flooding, believe it or not, being so close to the river doesn't really happen for us because our property slopes down into a stream that flows to the river. For the river to actually flood our property would have to be like the best flood of the century, worst flood of the century. I wouldn't say best, but wouldn't be something that I would even think of, which is why we use plastic to prevent a lot of runoff. We don't want any runoff, even with organic materials that we use. The plastic helps with that. But as far as flooding, sometimes you got to look at where you're planting, right? So the soil that we have here in Virginia, or this particular area of Virginia, is notorious to have sandy loam. A lot of it has clay. Now, clay will flood, but we have sandy loam, and it either drains or runs. It doesn't hang around. I've really never had any flooding issues, so I don't even know where to start. I have had a few people where I've visited their farms have flooding issues. The best thing I could do is, if your soil holds a lot of water, is to try to get it on a slope, get it on a hill. I know it's a little late now, but it's your first grow. And we went through a lot of growing pains the first year. So many growing pains that first year. It was really, really hard. And the shoestring budget doesn't make it any easier. It means way more work that you have to do. So I feel for you guys. Best of luck as far as your growing goes. Adventure Time. I really hope that your grow pulls through. The one thing that those plants don't like, though, is wet foot. They do not like wet foot. They like dryish soil. Stino, that's awesome. How long you been going at it? These plants are freaking amazing. We've been growing here on the farm. This is our third year. So I'm not going to talk about any previous experience with these plants because we started our farm in 2019. And so my experience starts there. But as far as breeding goes and determining genetics, that really did start in 2019 for me. Really didn't mess with seeds because, making seeds, because you're sacrificing an entire grow. But when we do a huge grow outside, sacrificing an entire winter to make seeds, when we don't have to rely on a flower product to be created, we can sacrifice that time and make new seeds. And that has been absolutely incredible. So yeah, I have been working diligently on improving my genetics and improving my breeding tactics. So I'm really hoping that this year with the grow room, we take it to that next level. We're going to do a lot more feminized stuff. We're going to do a lot more genetic switching. We're going to have different males come in. Obviously, we're going to be using the 4 new plants to our farm in this process. We might even do a CBD cross at some point. So I'm really excited. Biox is so popular as a CBD plant that I would love to see some of that carry over to a special plant. I got to be careful what I say, guys. So you guys know what I'm referring to when I say the 4 plants. Deb, flooding in a lot of places. Yeah, flooding. It seems like you're either bone dry or flooding right now. I see a little west is dealing with a lot of drought, and that's unfortunate. To be honest, we have had the perfect growing weather in Virginia. I'm not trying to gloat or anything, but we have had it really good, which it's nice because the last 2 years we've fought record cold, we've fought record heat, we've fought tropical storms, we've fought hurricanes, we've fought sheer wind tornadoes, we've fought a bunch of stuff. So to have this perfect growing weather right now, I'm just leaving it alone. I'm enjoying it because I know hurricane season is coming, and we always get ours during hurricane season. Every year we've grown, we have been hit with a tropical storm. So I know mine is coming. It usually comes in September, right before harvest, to really make it fun. But yeah, flooding has been a problem in a lot of part of the country, and so is drought. It seems to be one of Elizabeth. Okay, that's cool. Can't wait to see the update. Yeah, I'm looking forward to updating you guys on the grow. If you need a tester, let me know. I will, Deb. I will let you know. And we can give out seeds. And at some point, and I don't know when you came in on the live stream, Deb, but I am teaching a class in Richmond, Virginia. Currently working out the details. Like I said, going back to the beginning of the stream, I get a lot of questions. Can people visit the farm? Can they visit me? Can we meet? Right now, nobody's coming to the farm. It's just the way it is right now. I know it's disappointing, but it's just that's the way it is right now. But I really want to funnel a lot of that energy to the growing class that we're putting on in Richmond. It's with a nursery. We've partnered up. I'm not going to give away their name yet because I don't even know if they're comfortable with that yet. We're in the very early stages of setting it up. We've done one class so far. It was kind of like a trial run. It went very well from the feedback that I got. So if you're interested in learning new things, meeting, testing seeds, we could probably give them away. We're going to work on that. We're working on details. So yes, you could be a tester in the future if you come to one of the classes. And again, I don't have a schedule yet, but mark it on your calendars as far as keep asking, keep pestering me in the comment sections of videos, and hopefully I'll have an answer for you guys very soon on a schedule for those classes in Richmond. All right, let's see. Any chance you guys will try to get licensed to grow for medical recreational in the future? Here in Mass, it's working well on all fronts. Well, thank you for the question. And yes, so from my understanding is we'll be integrated, or we'll have the option, because we're CBD hemp farmers, we'll have the option to integrate in. Supposedly, none of it is official, and nothing can even happen until late 2022 as far as permitting and submitting forms. And we're working on making sure that we're leveraged to be able to get in. I really just would like to do craft. I'd really just like to stay small if possible. I'd like to have the CBD as well as the special plants, and to continue growing on both fronts. Because one of the things that I see a lot of is when a state makes it legal, they lose a lot of their CBD production, and then they're importing it from other states where it's not legal because they're only growing CBD. So I really do want to stay in both lanes if I can. If they make me choose, that's going to be really tough. But I hope I don't have to choose, and we'll find out in 2022. Right now, we got to get over the hump in 2021. We got to get into the new hemp program that starts in 2022, which is January 2022. So a lot of moving parts, but yes, our goal is to be in the recreational medical grow, and hopefully we can be. Deb, I'll look for Maui Wowie and Skittles. Skittles might be hard to find. I guess there was some court battle with that just because of the name. So they may be hard to find right now. We found ours fall out of the sky months ago, but they might be hard to find. So, are you running nutrients, all organic? Are you potted outside or directly in the ground? We're all three of those things. So we're running nutrients. We work very closely, no sponsorship, so we can import other nutrients, but we work really closely with Coast of Maine. I think that's been pretty obvious. We use 90% of our nutrients come from Coast of Maine. About 10% come from outside sources. One of the more popular ones that I use is Cold War Organics. I use them for their Angel's Touch because Coast of Maine really doesn't have a product that's high in potassium. I need a lot of potassium, especially towards the end of the plant's life. So I use Cold War Organics Angel's Touch. That really fills the void as far as the potassium goes. I do bring some other stuff in, and every now and then a company will reach out to me and, hey, can you try this? Or, hey, can you try that? I've used microbes in the past. I've used Mammoth Pea. I've used, I'm going to forget the name of it, but it'll come to me. And I've also used fish shit. They're all great. I've used all the microbes from those guys. And you're actually going to see some compost teas coming up here very, very soon. Now, as far as potted plants go, pretty much I solely use Coast of Maine soils. I did work with a company called Northeast Compost a little bit ago. I think it was this year or last year. I can't remember. I think it was last year. I worked with them a little bit. Still good. Keep in touch with them. But so far this year, we've only used Coast of Maine soils, particularly their Stonington blend. And the class that I taught back a couple weeks ago in Richmond, that was in conjunction with Coast of Maine. So we're kind of forming a partnership, so to speak. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not gonna put words to it, but we work very closely with Coast of Maine, and Stonington blend is one of those that makes my class easy to teach, because if you buy 2 bags of Stonington and you have a fabric 15-gallon pot, you can put your plant in there and just let it go. We did a video on that last week about how easy that is. That was kind of because we did the class. I wanted to show how easy it was. So that's a big factor. So yeah, we do run nutrients. We run soils and potted plants. Not as many potted plants as we used to have. We did soil wars our first year and learned the hard way about pot size. You do not want anything under 15 gallons. I don't care what anybody says, 5-gallon buckets. You will be out there every day watering in Virginia, sometimes twice a day. 5-gallon bucket works great, maybe for some areas, but not for here. Not for here. All right. I like the answer. Special thanks to video on stabilizing plants. I'm south-facing. Yeah, let me know. Send video, photos, and you guys have questions later on, you can always send me an email. So, Deb, I'd love to attend the class. I do need help. Yeah, Deb, and I really hope you can attend. I hope a lot of my subscribers who are in Virginia can attend that class. And like I said, I'm not comfortable with giving out the people who are hosting it, and obviously I'm going to be there. Coast of Maine was also part of it. So there's a lot of moving parts. I'm really excited that Coast of Maine is going to be part of it too, because it brings a whole different element. So Deb, I really hope you can attend the class. I hope you're near the Richmond area, so it's not too far of a drive for you. Because I think time frame wise, we're looking at like 4:30 when the class starts. So hopefully you're within the Richmond area, Richmond Metro. Okay, Deb, you live near Richmond. Perfect. Well, there you go. Hopefully you can attend the class. Hopefully, if anything, we can at least do a small meet and greet at this place. I know that even if you don't want to pay for the class or whatever, you can come on in. I'll be there, and I'll make sure that my subs know that too. Let's see. Any more questions? Craft growers versus breweries. Yep, loving that. Yeah, the craft grower thing is probably going to take off. Well, it depends on how the laws are formed, but yeah, craft growers is essentially the microbrew of this industry, and I really like being on that side of the scale. I don't like the big stuff. I don't like the big commercial ag. I don't like, you know, putting thousands and thousands of plants out there. Like 1,000 plants is still manageable by a small group of people. But once you're starting to talk anything more than like an acre or two, you're really starting to talk heavy machinery. You're starting, and biomass hemp and all that stuff. And it's not for me. But yeah, I do love the fact that the craft portion of this industry is really starting to grow. Green bicycles. I don't know what green bicycles is, Deb. I mean, I don't have a green bicycle, but maybe that question, maybe I read it wrong. I don't know. See if you can elaborate a little bit more on the green bicycles. All right, Elizabeth, last question. I promise. Kelp foliar spray, okay for outdoors or just keep it in the soil? Absolutely spray your plants with kelp. Coast of Maine just promoted our video the other day on Instagram about kelp. This is the time of year you want to be foliar spraying kelp. And Elizabeth, if you have more questions, this doesn't have to be your last one. You can feel free to answer. This is why I like doing the live streams. I can answer as many questions as you guys can throw at me. But absolutely spray kelp on your plants, especially in the heat. They love it. Don't go overboard. Don't dump a whole quart into a gallon of water. Do 2 ounces of liquid kelp to a gallon of water, and you will get phenomenal results. They will become so heat tolerant. They won't weep or sag or anything. They will be super happy, especially in the morning. One of the coolest things, if you spray them in the evening and you check them out in the morning, they get this super green, like neon green. They're so happy. They look so nice. So absolutely spray your plants with kelp meal. Absolutely. Liquid kelp from Coast of Maine. Yes, all the Coast of Maine stuff. That's the stuff that I use. I've been using. I love it. Like I said, I like a lot of their products. It's kind of like it's a friendship more than it is a partnership with Coast of Maine. I just love their products. They love me showing their products, and we kind of just have this really symbiotic relationship with Coast of Maine. It's really nothing official. We could go to, if another company offers us something, we have the ability to switch, unlike with our grow lights and stuff. But we definitely love Coast of Maine's products. I just love working with that stuff. Stino, what is your handle on IG? It's York River _ cannabis. So it's York River _ cannabis. You should find me. The logo for the YouTube channel is the same on Instagram. So definitely check us out. We're active on a fairly daily basis on Instagram. So if you guys want to see day-to-day life on the farm, I try to be more active on Instagram when it comes to the day-to-day stuff. And I try to plan out the YouTube videos because we only really do a video a week. It's really all I can do as far as editing and filming. So I try to do a little bit more on Instagram when it comes to interacting with folks and giving them that perspective of the day-to-day life on the farm. So definitely check us out on Instagram. And if you guys want me to put it in the chat, I'll try to type out the handle for you guys. All right. So Deb, I want to attend a class too. Don't mind paying. Green Bicycles is a plant food developed. He's on YouTube. Okay, I will have to check him out. I had no idea what the Green Bicycles. I was definitely floored by the question, but thank you for clarifying, Deb. Yes, I definitely want all my subscribers who are in the area to come to that class. So Deb, if you haven't, email me. That way, I can give you an update on the class if you're really, really interested in it. My email is yorkrivercannabis@gmail.com. Send me an email. I can put you on like a list of folks, and that's what I want to start doing. I have a waiting list for flowers. I want to kind of do that for for folks who want to sign up for the class in our area. So Deb, feel free to email me. That way I can hopefully update you as the class progresses. Looking to get it off the ground in August. So really not too far off. Hopefully we can get this thing moving. Stino, follow, loving the content and interaction with fellow growers. Yeah, we have like a little group of growers that we kind of all started at the same time here in Virginia. So we interact with each other quite a bit on Instagram. Some of us have gone off and done different things, but for the most part, we still interact, and I still follow a lot of those guys. And the industry definitely took a beating in the end of 2019 going into 2020. The 2020 year was a weird year, between getting fingerprinted and the program ending, and it was just, and then it didn't end. It ended for like 3 days, and then it didn't end. It was a nightmare. Deb, let me put my email in the chat here for you guys. That way I can keep in touch with you about the class. All right. So there's my email for you, Deb. Definitely worth watching Green Bicycle. I will find him after this video, maybe check out his channel, see what he's got to offer. That's kind of, I've never heard of him, so I always like learning something new. So I appreciate you letting me know about him. All right, guys. Well, it's been about an hour. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them now. We're going to start wrapping this video or live stream up. And I appreciate all you guys coming out today and checking out the live stream. It got overwhelming support on the YouTube community page when we put it up to a vote. So I really appreciate all the feedback on that. And we'll try to do more of them. I really do want to do more live streams. We're building an office in the barn. That barn is like the Heinz 57 of the farm. So we're going to be able to do everything out there. At least we fixed the technical difficulties. The last live stream I did, it was very glitchy. This one seems to have gone very smoothly. So one step at a time. We're working on getting better equipment for the channel, but in due time. So, have a good night, guys. Yeah, have a good night, Elizabeth. Akira, I'm not going to say your name right. Akira. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. If you've subscribed, if you've hit the thumbs up, I appreciate all you guys for your questions, your comments on the videos, your everything you guys have done for our channel. Just by subscribing, just by being here today, you guys help us out so much. And again, I can't express my appreciation for you guys being here and supporting us. So I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to give you guys the rundown before I sign off. So if you guys are looking to find me, Instagram, York River _cannabis. Facebook, it's York River Hemp. And because they don't like the word cannabis. So if you have a Facebook, you can find us on there. We're definitely not as active on Facebook. Email, I left it in the chat for you guys. Feel free to do that. But that is it, guys. Again, want to thank our sponsor, Mars Hydro. If you guys are looking to do your indoor grows, you want to save some money, you can always save with the coupon code YRC. And it may not be a lot of money, but it's something. But, folks, I'm going to sign off for the night. I really hope you guys have a great weekend, a great evening, and I will catch you guys in another video. Take care.